In the last episode, you said you have done ritual magic to some success and could talk about that. Okay, I'll talk about it. Me and my friend Fernando, who worked with Truth, Freedom, Prosperity, he was actually the creator. Not Truth, Freedom, Prosperity. We worked with Truth, Freedom, Prosperity, but he was the creator of Philadelphia Survive and Thrive, a survivalist Skillshare group that was on meetup.com years ago. I was kind of like, his helper with the group. I particularly helped with the digital aspects of it, anything computer related, posted files to the file section of the meetup group, etc. We had a mutual friend who was also a Satanist who actually corroborates my message and what I was involved in years ago. Maybe I'll link to that and let people hear. Fernando was on my broadcast. You can go back in my archives and hear about water purification. He's in that business, or at least was. I don't know if he still is. We had a mutual friend named Jerry, who was a Satanist at the time that I was involved in the Church of Satan. He was not an active member of the Church of Satan, although he supported LaVeyan Satanism. And he was very deep into Satanism in general, the whole ideology, Luciferianism, Satanism, etc. I fell out of touch with Jerry for personal reasons and did not know what became of him. Me and Fernando realized that we were mutual friends when I brought him up one day. I did not know that Fernando knew him. We decided that we would try to figure out what happened to Jerry, but we didn't know how. Who would we get in touch with? We don't know any of his friends. He had moved. I believe he used to live in South Philadelphia, not too far from me. To my knowledge, he no longer lives there. We could have asked a couple of friends if they knew where he went, anybody who knew him, but we really had no way of getting in touch with him or figuring out what happened to him. So we said, have we ever tried to use a thought experiment, as Fernando called it, to try to bring about a result? I called this ritual magic. We turned off all technology in the room, including the lights, turned our cell phones off, turned all digital devices off, sat there for a half an hour, totally unilaterally focused on, we are going to find out what happened to our mutual friend, Jerry. We don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And we are going to sit there focused on, with pure intent, it will occur. It will occur, period. We don't know how the universe is going to provide this. We have no idea how it's going to occur, but it will occur. I think we should try to do that because I think, honestly, nothing but a miracle is going to take us out of this slavery that we are in. Maybe we should do a thought experiment. People will wake up. We don't know how it's going to happen, but they will wake up. They will start to question government. They still will start to question mainstream media. We sat there for only one half an hour with the two of us, no one else in the room. That's it, 30 minutes exactly. After the 30 minutes expired, we stopped talking about it entirely and moved on to different topics. Turned the lights back up, turned the digital devices back on, and put no other interaction out about it. Just focused the intent and said it will occur, and we trust the universe will make it happen. The end. Gave no further energy to it after that point. 3 weeks later, I got an email about former Satanists who are now doing something different with their lives after realizing Satanism is actually a very dangerous ideological pathway to go down. And it is the ideology of the rulers of the world. There was a link in which Jerry was not mentioned in this email at all. Okay? There was a link to go to a blog site that was talking about different people who had formerly been involved in Satanism, and the person was listening to my show and thought I might find this article of interest, did not know anything about Jerry or Fernando or our thought experiment or ritual magic, whatever you want to call it. I clicked the link that says, read about former Satanists, what they're doing now. Blog site comes up. I start reading about all these different Satanists, and I keep scrolling, and then all of a sudden, there's an article about my friend Jerry. 3 weeks later after this thought experiment. He had gotten involved in Christian ministry. You know, he went down the path of religion, which, you know what? I understand that happens with people that get so frightened in Satanism. And believe me, they realized what they were involved in. He'll tell you exactly what it is. You listen to his interviews now. He's done many, many interviews about it. I might want to try to have him on the show. I don't know if he'll interact with me, speak with me. I don't know what his feelings are toward me now. You know, we'll see. But I'd like to invite him on the show, catch up a little bit, maybe, talk about what got him out. You know, I'll tell him what got me out. I know that Jerry now, you know, kind of preaches Christianity, and he sees it through the Christian perspective or the Christian lens, okay? I'm not going to, you know, be attacking or bitter about that. Plenty of people see it through that lens. You know, I consider myself friends with Fritz Springmeier, who sees it through that lens. You know, there are many people who go down the religious pathway when it comes to this because they do realize Satanists control this planet. So, you know, that's an example of a piece of ritual magic that was successful. So I do know that it does work, if you want to call it that. But there are ways of directing energy, and that's what these Satanists know. And they're doing this. They call it the mastermind experiment, or the mastermind operation, whatever you want to call it. Okay? It means you're putting mental focus toward one direction. They add the action component and then say, we're going to make it happen in addition to that focused intent and energetic component. Then they add their physical will to it. And that's why they're winning. They do that, they care about getting it done, and then they get it done. We, on the other hand, we can't even agree on what morality is or what a right is, you know, or that others' lives don't belong to us to take. And we're still thinking plants and animals are the same thing. I could put a newborn baby image on this side and a picture of a seedling plant on this side. It's the same thing. You know, chopping that baby's head off and grinding its body up in a meat grinder would be the same thing as plucking that little seedling out of the ground. Fucking retards. Most people out in the world are such fucking retards, man. It's embarrassing that I'm the same fucking species as most of these people.